Did it do it?
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Legendary Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jared Michelson.
What up? I'm Antoine Beeks.
Hey, so we're gonna recap a little Monday night action of the deadliest of dud games with the Vikings and the Bears.
You have at it, man. You have at it. Go ahead.
I
Let them hear
will.
all about it.
Oh man, this was a rough one to be a part of if you had any talent whatsoever. Um, I say talent lightly in this game because there was not a lot to be seen from the Vikings. I mean, over the Bears, we got two fumbles by Fields. We got, and this is all low lights because we usually try to do
Hey,
highlights.
hey,
Like
hey,
this is
hey, hey,
all
hey.
low lights. We got four picks
Go, go,
by
go, go,
Dobbs.
go, go.
Like, like I don't. There's not a highlight here to even look at. DJ Moore had a good game. He had 11 for 114. So there is a highlight, I guess, if you're looking at that. Oh, Jordan Addison did have 10 targets. So you can hang your head on 10 targets, but if my thing is this, if they're going to be this bad, if Dobbs is going to continue to be this bad, do they even bring back Jefferson? Like at this point,
That'll suck for some guys who might be in the playoff hunt. And it
it
was
would
one
suck.
game. Everybody stinks it up one game, but that level of stink though was like,
I don't know, man. That was hard to be a part of. Like, and Fields looked good up until like the last quarter. Like as far as a foot NFL non-fancy. Hey, stop that. Non-fancy. He was 21 of 20 or 21 of 28 at one point. Not a lot of yards, but 21 of 28 is pretty good. Like if you said, "Oh, he
we
only missed 7 passes up to a certain point," you'd be like, "That's pretty good, right?" He didn't throw any picks. It was just a fumble that happened at the worst times. By the way, it did. I will give you that. It happened at the worst of times. I'm not arguing that, but he did have that clutch 36-yard throw in the winning seconds to get them in field goal position to win the game, and they did. Did they not win the game?
Oh, you talking to me? I'm awake now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I know.
I fell asleep with you talking about
I'm
Dobbs
talking to the
or not
number one
Dobbs, but
Justin Fields fan. The number one
and
Justin
look,
Fields fan.
it's just my luck, right? That I give him all the love in the world, give him all the flowers last week, and then he just comes out and just lays an egg, like just a bum.
Hey, but he got DJ Moore 114 yards out of his 217, and in PPR he
That
had.
was mostly DJ Moore.
That's fine. Not uncertain. No, 36 yards of that was that strike that Fields threw, and he let that ball rip to get them in the field goal range.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's clutch. So
congratulations.
give that man some credit. If you started TJ Hawkinson this one, 5 for 50 and a touchdown, he's been as consistent as anybody's been all year for tight end position. So you get a thumbs up there. But man, if Dobbs plays like that, you can't rely on that. That's not that four
So
interceptions is not good.
so I was gonna say the two things that I had to say about this game was
Gross.
obviously Fields was cheekeries, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was, I mean, after having the type of games he had, for him to do this is just, I don't know. Then on the other side of it, in one
Oh,
in one league that I actually won in this week, I lost in every other league. I went 1 for 5.
jeez.
TJ Hawkinson got me just enough points to beat the guy by 6 points.
Oh, really?
So shout out to TJ
Yeah,
Hawkinson,
T
man, for
Hawkins.
getting me a win.
Two highlights in there are the tight end for the Vikings, T Hawkinson, and then DJ Moore. Everything else was just a disaster. Now, one last piece to this game. Do you think Roshan Johnson owns his backfield? He had the most
Um,
carries. It was 10-6. Khalil Herbert obviously just coming back from injury, so I don't know if there's enough to tell. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it going to be Roshan or was it
I
going?
wouldn't necessarily say own the backfield, right?
Yeah, it's not. It's
Because
not. It's not
whatever
a big split. It's 4 carries, right? What are we really talking about?
because what they're gonna do is they're gonna split those carries, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, Khalil Herbert just came back from injury. But also, it's not like they run the ball very well.
Mm-hmm.
Deontay Foreman had two good games earlier this year where he ran the ball pretty decent with Bajan in at quarterback. And it was against Carolina, and I think it was against the Washington Commanders. Ooh.
Fair.
Right?
Well, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So, and even with Big Deron Payne and when they had Chase Young there, they weren't really doing much defensively up front after getting
Yeah.
after the run and after your quarterback. So names don't mean nothing
Yeah,
to me.
I don't know. I agree with you. I don't know what this backfield will look like. Now, Roshan did have 5 for 40 in the air, so he did have some targets. So I don't know if that means anything in the future or if this is just like slowly weaning back Khalil Herbert to get into the game. So there'll be TBD, but you can't do it this week because they are one of the teams on bye. So you have to wait another week to find out what the future state of this is going to be. So that just kind of is what it is. The 6 teams that we have on bye this week, which kind of stinks for some, we have the Ravens, the Bills, the Bears, the Raiders, the Vikings. Thank goodness the Bears and Vikings are on bye because we don't need to see any of that garbage, along with the Giants. Truth be told, all the bipocalypses, this is the least bipocalyptic because you are just getting a lot of Dudley offenses out here that don't really matter. Like I would say, like there's a lot of waiver wire, a lot of stuff that you have to do to maybe like scrounge up some talent, but not this week. Not when it's the Bears, not when it's the Raiders, not when it's the Vikings and the Giants. 4 out of 6 teams are just trash.
And one out of the two just run the football. So it's not like you had
Yeah,
any wide receivers in there.
Zay Flowers is pretty good.
I mean, he's okay when Deshaun Watson wants to throw them the ball.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, whatever. They
Put
just
some respect on Lamar. They don't be doing them dirty like that.
he trash. All you do is run
uh,
the football.
yeah, no, they are a run heavy team. You're 100%.
But that offense too, especially at the wide receiver spot, it's like pick your poison. One week it's Odell Beckham, one week it's Rashad Bateman, one week it's Zay Flowers, then it might be Zay Flowers again, then it might be Odell Beckham, then it might be back to Zay Flowers.
And
Like
and you're right. And the thing is, like with all those changes, it's also only like 5 for 40 and maybe a touchdown. So like you're not really getting good volume out of even if it is one of those guys, you're not getting good volume out of them anyway. To your point, as
correct.
as much as I am a Ravens homer because that's my team, I can agree with your point of you're not getting what you need out of them for a successful fantasy outing. Now,
Did I hear you say you finally agree with me on something?
yes. Yeah, I finally conceded that point.
Whoa, look at us. It only took us
I'm
13
growing up
weeks.
right before your eyes, man. I'm
It only took us 13 weeks to get here. My goodness.
I was trying to buy as much time. I was hoping Lamar would come back around for me, but again, he played fine, but he's not fantasy fine, right? Not getting anybody the fantasy love and volume that we need, and that's still showing to this day. And I don't know. I can't argue the stats, right? Like when the numbers are there and the numbers are low, 177 again, and a touchdown just this past week. How can I argue that? I can't. The numbers are out there.
Their numbers are what they are.
Yeah, man. So that is. Speaking of numbers, man, I should have held on to Zach Moss's number because JT thumb surgery out for a few weeks. How do you feel about that, Mr. JT owner? That I had to bring this up.
Man, you just had to crush my
I
spirits,
did.
man.
This is gonna segue into the waiver wire. So I had to start with that some pain though, you know. I had to eat some crow right there with the Lamar Jackson. So I had to make sure that you felt my pain and felt my hurt. So
Well, man, here we go. Let's talk about this, man. I've been playing fantasy for about 6 or 7 years. Every single year, no matter what league I'm in, no matter what team I have, no matter how good I'm doing, no matter what, 'cause I'm always playing for my team. 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 'Cause I'm I suffer big blows to the injury department. I suffer big blows to the
Mhm.
injury department. So, a two QB league that I had, Aaron Rodgers went down early. Had Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Joe Burrow in that same league went down. Now I'm starting Dorian Thompson Robinson and John Bowie or Jake Bowie or whatever his name is. Because I also got Geno Smith, but Geno Smith ain't no good.
Yeah.
So I mean, so in that league, I'm stinking it up with quarterbacks. Although also in that league, I have Jamar Chase with no quarterback to throw him the ball. So that's feels like another injury. Also lost Mike Thomas in various different leagues, which that isn't that big. He was very consistent at what he was doing,
10 points a
you know,
game, basically. Yeah.
five or six get grabs and about like 55 yards a game or something
Yep.
like that. Like he was very consistent, but that. And then I have Mark Andrews go out. I mean,
Hmm.
I take the Mark Andrews hit. Now I'm taking the Jonathan Taylor hit after him already missing the first 4 games. Um, it's just really, really bad, man. And through battling through all of this, man, I'm still right there in the mix of it. But I would love to see myself just 1 year keep my team completely healthy and see what I would be able to do. Um,
That's not fancy, man. Somebody's got to be the catalyst for
Man, I
disaster.
feel like it's me every single year. Like I play in some leagues where there's this guy that I play in the
I
league
think the
with.
Justin Jefferson owner would say otherwise.
Man, listen, there's a guy that I play with in the league. He's drafted Christian McCaffrey the last 2 years, and C-Mac hasn't been injured at all. After being hurt all the time in Carolina,
Yeah.
he's drafted him
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
to
He was
back and just been
hurt in
putting up
Carolina. Maybe he
numbers.
just didn't want to play anymore.
Yeah, maybe, right? Maybe he just fooled us all, right? But I mean, like, there's this dude, like, he's been like on a 3 year streak of no injuries at all, like none whatsoever. Like his major guys never get hurt.
Hmm.
Like, my God, man,
So maybe,
I don't
maybe
know.
this, maybe in the leagues that you're not in with him, you draft the same players he does.
I
That
can't do
way,
that because then I wouldn't be me,
well, you're injury Antoine now. You are
man.
injury
Dog,
Antoine. Oh, that's funny. And that stinks because so we're going back to the JT thing. They have a very decent strength of schedule. So on Fantasy Pros, it's a 3 out of 5 stars. So they say it's neutral, but as I'm looking at the next upcoming games for them, Week 13, they have the Titans. It could be tough. Titans have a decent run defense, but Zach Moss catches passes, so that could change it. But then Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Atlanta. Atlanta's got a decent run defense, but again, catching passes. The Raiders and the Texans the end of the season, though. Like,
that's a real favorable schedule
that's
for
a
them.
very favorable schedule. Zach Moss could be the guy to win your league. And I traded him for Garrett Wilson, who also has a pretty good strength of schedule. However, it's going to depend on his quarterback play. Um, now this Jonathan Taylor thing, I don't know how I feel about my trade. I thought I was getting the upper hand, but now you have a possibly game league winning running back. I'm like, gosh darn it. You think you don't know fantasy is my point. You have no idea.
You don't. You have no idea. You have none whatsoever.
So
None at all.
yeah, so if anybody dropped Zach Moss on the waivers, that is your number one claim. There is no other number one. It's him clear cut. Because before, obviously, you saw what damage he did before Jonathan Taylor got there, and he was 20 points, 22 points, 19 points. Like he was at cooking. So you guys need to chase him down ASAP. I don't care what your fab budget, I don't care what it is. You spend the dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep,
You
you do
spin
it.
it high dollar. But I
Yes.
don't think he's available in any leagues though.
50, he's 50, so he's available in just under half. You're right. It's not a lot. He's at 54% owned in most leagues. So you have a chance to get him? Yes. Is it higher than most? No.
Yeah, that one hurts, man. That one
It does.
hurts.
A few other people on
So
the waiver that you can kind of snatch up here. And I did this early, and I'm so happy I did. Pat Fryermuth. That's another one for me on the list of people to snatch up for free agents and waivers because the new offensive coordinator, I gotta look up his name real quick. After they fired I forget what the guy's name is that they fired for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I gotta look up the new offensive coordinator here. But anyway, the new offensive coordinator clearly showed that he can function better because game one, Pat back. I mean, he had what was it, 10 receptions and like 100 and some yards, or 9 was like 120 or something like that. Absolutely bananas, right? So if that's even if he cuts that in half for yardage, and let's say he gets 6 catches for 60, that is still a TE1 on a week to week basis.
I think he's going to emerge as a TE1. I'm not sure where he's been all season though.
Injured.
I figured,
Mm-hmm.
but he was doing work. He lit me up this week actually. Him and Kyrene Williams. I just got killed by everybody.
You kind of like Kyron Williams. Oh, that
Yeah,
sucks.
I got killed by
Oh.
CJ Stroud, Josh Allen. In every other league I play, I got Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, uh, Jalen Hurts. And then extra guys that killed me were Kyrene Williams. Who did I just say?
CJ Stroud, Josh Allen, Pat Fryermuth.
Pat Fryermuth. See, Pat Fryermuth. There was another a wide receiver. Oh, Calvin Ridley killed me too.
The one you were talking trash to too earlier in the season. That's karma for you. You were talking trash about Calvin Ridley. He's been cooking the last 2 weeks.
Hey, I just seen Zach Moss. I just seen Zach Moss in my in one of my leagues. I spent $50 to get him. Hopefully
Yeah.
that's enough. I
I
think
think
somebody else might be
so.
out there spending way more.
Fantasy Pros actually has like a budget thing on their site, and it said $27. It depends on your league though, because some people's leagues obviously are more aggressive. Like some people don't care about their fab at all. They're just like, you know what, I'm gonna spend whatever. So maybe in your league you might need to go 50 because who knows, you might have somebody that's wild enough to go 55. You know,
I bet you somebody outbids me. I bet you. I
so you
bet
have
you
one.
someone outbids me.
So is that league people pretty aggressive with their fab, or they don't really care? They're just gonna go in and get it.
They just go and get it, dog. They go and get it. They spend it.
So the offensive coordinator they fired was Matt Canada, was for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who was very boring, and they hired this Eddie Faulkner guy. And 1 week they are drastically better. Like they didn't put up a lot of points, but their offense definitely flowed better. So clearly,
Yeah. I'm surprised they got rid of their offensive coordinator, but
it's been kind of. But at this point in the season, we've kind of seen it where and the league is very ADD with and where they're short minded for building an offense. If you're not producing right away, we don't want you. Doesn't matter if you're new to the team or whatever the case may be. You have a short leash, and you need to produce and produce right away because A, we got to bring in money, and B, we can't look like garbage, right? We like these owners that have egos, and if
big
your
ones.
gladiators aren't putting on, they're gonna cut you, and they don't waste time.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see going forward. What they play the Cardinals at home too. So that's what I'm saying. You should be starting all of your Steelers. I don't care if Trubisky's starting. Like and
Hey,
they're
put some
playing the
respect on
Cardinals.
Trubisky's name.
Was that?
Said put some respect on Trubisky's name.
No, I'm not putting no respect on Trubisky's
He's
name.
better than Kenny Pickett, or just about as good.
Oh, that's why he's starting over Kenny Pickett. Interesting.
Oh, because they invested such a high draft round pick on this guy.
Why do you think they did that? Because Trubisky was not the guy. He started for them. He had a chance to have the job before Kenny even got there, and they said
No,
no.
baloney. Baloney. They got him out of there because they wanted to see Kenny Pickett, and Kenny Pickett is trash.
But they
He's the
had
30 he's the
Trubisky a year
32nd best
before they
quarterback in
drafted. Hold on, they had Trubisky a year before they drafted Kenny Pickett. They could have stuck with Trubisky, and they said no.
And Trubisky lit it up the year before he got there. They didn't have a losing record, did they?
I can go back and look at the history of the
They
Steelers.
didn't. They didn't. The Steelers haven't had a losing record in like 10 years, I think. So he played good enough to get them there.
All right, here we go. I don't see. Let's see here. 9-8 or something like that. So
And
so
you
so
remember the
and that's
Cardinals won the
2020. Yeah.
Super
So
Bowl off that record?
so 9-8 is him starting. It looks like. So that if
You
that's what we're
you
looking at,
you remember the Cardinals won the Super Bowl off a record like that?
the Cardinals lost that Super Bowl to the Steelers. So
They went to the Super Bowl though. They went.
yeah,
They went.
you should have used the example of the Giants doing it against the
The New
Patriots.
England Patriots.
I
The
will.
Giants versus New England
Yeah, I
Patriots.
saved you by the way. And no, 9-8 does not get you the starting job, and that's over 2 seasons of him. So this stat though is a mixed bag of 2022 and the starts he did, whenever he played this year. So it's a combination, and he was garbage.
So is Kenny Pickett, but I digress. The floor is yours. Floor is yours. Kenny Pickett is trash. 32nd best quarterback in the league. Kenny Pickett.
Wait, who's 31 now? Who keeps moving around? I don't know it's like 31 and 32 have to be Josh Dobbs, and I hate to say it, but it's got to be or 30 and 31 are Justin Fields, and Josh Dobbs is 31 because 4 picks. Like the rule is
Well,
you throw one, you throw three. He threw one and then threw four. Like,
well, a little bit of bias here. Bucko is Justin Fields, 32nd. He trash.
so you can't have 2 3 seconds. You can't have Pickett and Fields on 32.
It just
You gotta
depends on
pick
who
one
I'm
or the
talking
other.
about at the moment. Trash.
They're both
He
tight.
trash.
Oh god.
So so
Wait,
you
what
have
about
any
Jordan
more?
Love? Because Jordan Love was terrible.
Jordan Love just lit the Detroit Lions up. He's a top 10 quarterback at the moment. You know the NFL is what have you done for me lately?
I don't know, man. The Detroit Lions are becoming too much of the Detroit Lions, like of old.
So talk to me about where you at, man. Would you where you at in your leagues?
Oh, I'm
Starting
just
with
in the
our
MSP
leagues.
league. I'm just on an 8 game winning streak or whatever, or 7 game winning streak or whatever. But no big deal. Oh no, I think it's 8 games now. Actually, I have the stats here. Let me look that up. So, but in the standard league, I'm out. I am official. I'm in ninth place. There is no hope of even climbing into the playoffs at this week. At this point, I am just waiting to see who I'm going to be paying out. That's all I'm doing in that league. So, big money league, I am just in Ellsville. The rest of my leagues, I'm in playoff contention though. All the other leagues, I'm in playoff except for that one. So, I should ride into the playoffs in all my leagues except for that big money league. So,
Well, so in the big money league, I'm still holding down a sixth spot.
I can't believe
Right?
you are too. You were just sitting there, just grasping at that sixth spot, and you're at an L streak, and you're still grasping that sixth spot. That's
Dude,
just how
I've lost
bad.
like four. I've lost like four straight,
Yeah,
bro.
I can't believe that's just how
I've
bad the rest
lost.
of us have been, though. Like us at the bottom, we are way at the bottom. We are garbage.
Well, not really, because the last two you guys are pretty much out of it, right? But the eighth and the seventh spot, if I lose one more game, man, I might be out of this
So
joint.
the seventh spot guy beat me twice. Two of those wins out of his five were me.
Well,
Like
I
I
wish I
needed to
was
flip
playing
those
you this
around.
week.
If I flip those around, I'd be in his spot. But no, he's crushing me, and I'm just out here just idly watching by, just hoping for the best, I guess.
Just hoping for the best, huh?
Yep.
Dude, I don't have not. Hey, can we get Zach Moss in here? He's not picked up in any of our leagues, or not this one at least. You traded
If
him
he's
in
in the,
another one.
I would. I'm telling you, you should aim for him because he can help carry
I
the
did.
squad.
I did, and hopefully because we don't have a running back because we lost Jonathan Taylor.
Oh yeah, he's the one. He's the handcuff that you need. So something, a little philosophy. We'll talk a little philosophy here. For me, I'm gonna give a little bit of my trade secret. I am always scouring the waiver wire right before the weekend starts to see and paying attention to the news to see who might take. So Jalen Warren's a good example of that. And Pratt Fireman of like people who like you want to be ahead of next week's waiver, right? So I'm always looking a week ahead for my waiver. I'm not looking at who's going to be. I know injuries and stuff play a factor, blah blah blah, but I'm always looking at okay, you have Cleo Herbert, you have Jonathan Taylor, you have whoever. These guys have been coming back from injury. So just in case there is a setback, I am looking to grab these guys in case. And it's worked out to a degree with Jalen Warren, not because of injury, but because of play too. So that's a factor as well. Pat Freiermuth for return from injury, trying to get him before the following waiver wire because everybody's sitting there. My thought is I want to speculate that they're going to be good from my bench. I don't want to be the one that has to wait and then waste my waiver wire pick if I don't have to. If I have a roster spot available, I'm going to put you there and then wait to see how you do. I can drop you later, but there's a good chance I don't get you on waiver because I'm not going to get all the people I want. So my flat, I'm hoarding. Essentially, I'm hoarding as much as I can.
I seen that strategy. I seen it.
Yes, and I executed this well in the league. I'm on an 8-game winning streak on. I'm hoarding Keaton Mitchell. I am hoarding Pat Firemuth, Jalen Warren. I think I have another person on here. Let me go look at my roster. Oh, I'm right here already.
Speaking of Jalen Warren, is Najee Harris available? I'm sure he's
Roshan
not.
Johnson, just in case. So I dropped Rasheed Rice though. That's one I kind of messed up on. So right, he was average throughout the rest of the weeks, and then now he has the boom. I'm like, bro, I held you on for 8 weeks, and now you have a boom.
Who was that?
Rasheed Rice for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh yeah, he killed it. He killed it.
Yes,
He
8 for
had him. He
107
had
and a
himself a day.
touchdown. Yeah,
I'm over
crazy.
here stuck, man. I don't have anybody to play running back for me. I don't have anybody to play running back for me.
Too bad it's not
Um,
trade season because I could trade. I will trade you somebody, but too bad it ended last week. So,
this is really bad. I'm gonna have to drop T. Higgins
so
back.
that being said, let me go back to the waiver wire and see who you can go pick up for running backs. If some are available for everybody, obviously Zach Moss being number one. If Jeff Wilson is available, he's another one to go pick up here. If you need someone in
Is
desperation,
Mostert hurt?
no, but you know how they like to share backfield opportunities, right? So they don't like to abuse Mostert because he's 32 years old or whatever the case may be. So they don't like to like overly or 33, so they don't like to overly abuse him. So they like to split it up. So they're gonna use Jeff Wilson. I think they'll use him a little bit more now. He's a little bit more return from injury. So and that's gonna be someone that can be bye week because they're playing Washington, as you point out, not a great defense, right? So that's a chance for them to run all over them at home. They could be the Achan like Mostert game, that game where they both just dominated. That's what you could see right now with Wilson and Mostert. So if he's available for you, I would say go for him. That he's probably the best of your options. I was gonna say Roshan Johnson could also be somebody if he's available in any of our leagues. I don't know if he's available or not, but somebody to at least fill the void. And if he does get the nod to start, I mean, at least you have something, right?
Man, I'm hurting. I'm hurting all over, man. I'm hurting with the
You
injuries, man.
segued great into waiver wire, so thank you, or back into waiver wire. So I appreciate that. And obviously, Ty Chandler, I doubt he's available, but 54% of leagues he's supposed to be available. So hopefully in one of ours, he's there for you.
You know, you could always just go drop your best running back and let me pick him up.
What's your waiver wire though? You gotta make sure you're the
Hey,
top of the waiver because if you're not number one, that you're just screwing yourself even more. So.
you know, how do you get to the number one spot? Is it you have to be active more or what?
So you actually, so the less you do, the higher you'll end up being, but you will lose a spot because it's continually rotating. So if you're the number one that week and you don't make a waiver wire move, you'll still lose a spot, but you won't go as far down. So let's say like somebody who's like 3, 4, 5 make a pick, and you're in the number one spot. Well, you'll drop, but you'll only drop to like number 2 or maybe number 3 because everybody else made a claim. Or if everybody makes a claim and you're number one and it rotates, you will still be number one because you never made one at all. So it's kind of confusing because there's a rotating aspect to it. But as long as you don't make claims, you will stay at the top. That's the whole point. Is you will be at the top no matter what. You'll still might lose a spot depending on if like one or two people don't make it or don't make a claim with you and they sit idly by. Then it'll rotate between you three people. So like if 1, 2, and 3 don't make a claim, well, you'll go to 3, 3 goes to 2, and 2 goes to 1.
All right.
I studied this a that so confusing.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, but that's how it works. So if you make sure you're number one, I'll drop sync. What else? I can't do that.
No, don't take the league.
Yeah, I can't do
trash
that to
the
the league,
league.
man. I love our league mates too much to ever do something like that to them. Man.
Don't trash the league,
yeah,
man.
they've been some of these guys have been with me for a decade, like rocking through this league. So an actual decade, not like exaggeration. Like it's been over 10 years for a couple of guys.
Hopefully not the guy that made that horrible trade. Has he been around for that long?
Oh, you mean our homie with the big beard? No, I'm just kidding.
Ah, no, he didn't make a horrible trade. He won on that one.
uh, well, that's I don't know whether the league there was a trade. What was the other? What was the trade in the
The
big
one where
money
he
league?
got where he got CD Lamb.
No, that was the smaller money league. That was big bearded homie.
Yeah, but who traded CD Lamb to him?
Oh,
Don't say his name, but
the
has he
other
been
big
around
beard.
for 10 years?
Yeah, he has been around for 10 years. Yes, actually.
He need to watch the pod because that was trash.
Oh, he reckless though. Like that homie reckless. He makes wild moves. So
I'm about to go see where he's at in the standings.
fair, fair. I'm gonna look at our league and see who we have on the waiver wire for top available for us in that league to see what we have. And right now we're doing a fix it show for wow. We have 2 guys on the list I just named that are available. 3 actually. So there is Zach Moss, there is Roshan Johnson. Oh, he's on a bye this week, so it doesn't help me for this week. And then there is Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
So you
We'll
have at least
see.
2 chances to get a decent player. And I think you will because I'm not gunning for anybody this week because when I'm out and I have good running backs, I'm not trying to like. What do I need to go hoard for? I'm already screwed. What am I
You
hoarding?
already hoarding. That's why.
Yeah, well, that's it. I already have a bunch. You know, I have Jalen Warren on that team, and I have Keaton Mitchell on that team. I already hoarded ones from before, so I'm already done. I'll try to help you out because you have a chance.
Man, we'll have to see what happens, man. We'll really have to see what happens.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting, but
I'm hoping that the fantasy guys can rain upon me and turn this thing around for me.
yeah,
Cause
I mean, it just takes one, man. You just need to get in, and that's all you need to do. And then from there, if your team can turn up, that's all you need. That's it.
we need to get hot at the right time.
Exactly. So hopefully your guys start cooking. Hopefully you can get somebody good off the waiver wire. But I'm here for you, man. Now I don't have to cheer against you because I'm already out. So I'm cheering for you now. Now I can turn down the hate dial. So
I
I
feel
got my
like you was
karma. I'm
praying
not
on
even
my
in it.
downfall.
What's that?
I said I feel like you was praying on my downfall.
I was praying on your downfall, and it worked. But now I feel bad. So, so now I got remorse, and now I'm trying to help you out and get back on God's good grace.
Oh man. Oh, that's messed up, man.
I was trying, man. I need to get in, but karma got me because I'm not even close. So,
Hey, I was karma got me too. Joe Burrow got injured that same game that uh Mark Andrews got injured, and I was talking so much trash. I was just like, that's what you get. You
yep,
thought that trading for Mark Andrews was gonna be your savior, and then Joe Burrow got hurt.
yep. See, instant karma. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Oh man, anything else you got left for the people, man?
I don't have anything left, man. I need to
Then
go over here and do some homework right now.
that's
And
right.
not regular homework, some fantasy
Some
homework, because
fancy
I got
homework,
some
man.
buys and stuff like that coming my way.
And good luck to you. Good luck to the people, man. Hopefully, you guys' waivers go great, but we will see you guys on the next cast. Good luck.
Good luck to you too, brother.
Peace, everyone. Till next time.
Peace.